we're still saying do the right mag first. Does it really matter? Or?
This is working.
I don't think so.
Back up.
Hello, hello, hello. Let me get this to go back a little bit. I have no idea what the volume settings are for this, so bear with me for a second. Okay, that's paused. Okay, so that seems fine there. I'm going to turn down the video player just a little bit more. Okay, so that seems fine there. GPS, what's up? Tom, hello. Okay, so yeah. We're going to watch me turn my phone down since I know it works now. And let me grab a charger for my phone real quick and we'll get into it. So bear with me for just a second, guys. Okay, got my headphone back on. Let's make sure this is still here. Let's see, that's good there. Okay. Are you guys ready to party or whatever? Why are my eyes blurred? Why aren't they? Yeah, it's a different sort of heli time today. Also, if the audios are off on this, please tell me because this has not yet been vetted. So,
Eric was doing instrument stuff today, wasn't he?
We're going to watch my first solo from the other day. Chuck, thank you. Glad to see you in here, dude.
Watch light still. Is it just me or is it not
One of my many online inspirations.
Oh, okay.
I sound too far away. I'm using a completely different microphone setup. Usually I'm wearing a VR, but today I'm using my podcast type microphone sitting on the couch while watching the computer do its thing.
Did you just say that?
Huh?
Did you just say that or did I hear something come through that? I heard like a whammo.
Do it with me.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, I'll sound a bit far away in the video at first because we are not in the microphones yet.
5, 7, Zulu. Weather, wind, calm, visibility, 1, 0, clear. Below, 1, 2,000. Temperature, 3, 0, Celsius, 2.22. Altimeter, 3, 0, 0, 8. Density, altitude, 2, 6, 0, 0.
Cool. We got that at the right time. No wind though. Let's see, we bring this up to 70-75% now.
Hey.
Hold up a second. I should be way more audioable here.
518 Charlie Romeo, take it back, runway 24.
Sorry, down.
Changes a little bit.
I'll be.
My microphone, or let me turn on my my phone real quick so I can hear this. Hold up a second. Maybe it's just I'm using a different set of headphones for this. Give me just a second, guys. Bear with me.
Coming from that way, so I guess we'll be using 6.
Yeah, whatever anyone else is, just look at the flag. Like it's not moving, right?
Yeah.
So don't try and disrupt traffic, but if you're the only one, do whatever you want, right?
Gotcha. Speedway traffic, helicopter November 7534, Lima picking up at the helipad, taxiing to Alpha 3 via Alpha.
So apparently the headphones I'm using that plug in here are good on my right ear, but not good on my left ear. So I'm going to super jankify this up. Give me just another second. We're all in this together, I swear. Okay. I think we got it figured out. I'm having to Bluetooth into my stream that I'm watching on the phone because my the sound for the talking is only coming out of my my left ear. So yeah, okay, back to it. Let's get this going.
Eric was doing instrument stuff today, wasn't he?
I didn't draw hard this guy. I'm sorry.
Much light still. Is it just me or is it not whining?
Because the foam rips and I haven't replaced it, and it's not my money. That's why there's duct tape on the cyclic.
Enter. Left. View.
Bueno.
Did you just say that?
Huh?
Did you just say that or did I hear something come through that? I heard like a whammo.
No, it was me.
I was about to say. Let's go ahead and do our weather real
Yeah, ducts
quick.
fly, so duct tape is appropriate because we don't have cyclic tape.
5, 7, Zulu. Weather, wind, calm, visibility, 1, 0, clear. Below, 1, 2,000. Temperature, 3, 0, Celsius, 2.22.
Turn the
Altimeter,
video
3,
audio down so we
0,
can hear me
0,
more.
8.
Okay.
Density, altitude, 2, 6, 0, 0.
Cool. We got that at the right time. No wind though. Let's see if we bring this up to 70,
Video
75%.
audio down a little bit.
Hey.
And it's not quite duct tape either, so.
Okay, 77%. The gauges are already up in the green. So let's go and do a mag check. That's also where I was saying do the right mag first. Does it really matter? Or?
I don't think so.
Back up.
Let's see if I don't have any other normal wired earphones in this house.
That's good there. Car speed. Gauge is going up. RPMs dropping a little bit. Cool, so that
How's that for
works.
audio? Is my
Strike
talking very
question
good
check.
volume for this?
No. Decent split day. Doors are closed and latch. As far as our chart, we're looking at the 22.5 to 23.4 for the 5 minutes. VD is our 99.
Yeah, I use left mag for one flight and
now
right
what we're
mag for the
gonna do
next
is
flight, so I don't hear any of them. It's an obvious thing to do.
Low rotor RPM. Cool. We'll be ready to party.
Just like twin engine aircraft, you only use one at a time.
Ow.
Except this clip is loose as shit. You can just live there.
Yeah, that's obviously what you do. You have two mags, one as a backup. You don't want to use both at the same time because then you wear them both out at the same speed.
Fuck.
Okay, cool. Sucks for them.
Why would I check the
Sucks
mags?
for everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, bring her up above 80%. Clutch lights warming up with it.
You don't like all the glass? Well, there's no glass. It's just
Starting the throttle.
plexiglass in front and no doors.
Okay, that's good.
Do a little radio check real quick.
So this is my first
Speedway
solo,
traffic
but you
radio
will
check.
notice that the instructor's riding with me.
Clear.
He obviously does one lap with me to make sure that I'm good and
Okay,
he's
we'll
happy.
roll the RPM down. That's a low rotor
There we
RPM.
go, low RPM check.
Cool.
Cool. Good to go. I am clear to the right. The wind is calm. It
I
looks
know
like
how
it's
the
kind of
bikes
coming
look.
from
They
that way,
used to
so I guess we'll be
rebuild
using 6.
Nah, whatever anyone else, just look at the flag. Like it's not moving, right?
Yeah.
So don't
Oh,
try
and
to
yes,
disrupt traffic when if you're the only one. Do whatever you want,
straps
right?
for the kneeboard. Kneeboard's working great.
Speedway traffic, helicopter, November
Still some things I want to do to change some stuff around, but this is very, very close to where I want it to be.
Alpha Speedway.
No, the L47's above the
Charlie,
door.
518 Charlie Romeo, take it back, runway 24. Close pattern, Speedway.
Oh, he's using 2-4s, so I guess we're doing 2-4. A little bit light there.
Yeah, he's wearing a parachute, so we just kind of send him on his way. So that way I don't have to learn how to pick up. Video, audio down.
When you're solo, your CG changes a little bit.
I'll be
a lot
back
more forward.
Yeah.
Cyclic, and you're gonna pick up probably skids, back
Okay, that's
skids.
down another
Stay on the ground.
1.2 so Walker was saying that it would be a noticeable difference. Yep. Everything's in the green. Alright, heading down this way. We'll want to turn tail.
518
When
Charlie
he'll
Romeo,
mention
going back
that,
to
I
the,
definitely will notice that difference. It's significantly different than what you'd expect.
Yep.
Just one person getting out of something, but when you take up, you know, like more than 10 to 15% of the gross weight for takeoff, you notice a difference in the balance.
Do you think he's waiting for insurance on that twin-engine plane that lost its nose here?
I don't know what he's doing. Probably just crying somewhere. An expensive fix and inspection rigmarole to get that thing even close to being airworthy again.
Yep. Speedway traffic, helicopter, 3-4 Lima is...
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. There's a cough button on here. I had a cough. I didn't know it was a push on or push off button. I thought it was meant
Clear
to.
my way.
My bad.
Clear your way for a clear day.
Everything's clear.
See, there you go. You didn't hear me cough on this last time.
Up here to the whistling. Hey, that's really good.
Turn down
Yeah, that's damn good.
the 13.5 to negative.
Gauges are green, lights are out,
17.
taps are matched, all the
So let's see. Here for the takeoff.
and pump.
A little hazy.
Not too terrible though. Can still see Pine Mountain down
Video
there. so
player
I think
going
that's a
down
good
more.
sign.
That's Pine
Yeah, let's just go down like
Or
negative
what if the Pine
24 and
Mountain
see what it
chain
seems like.
Mountain.
Like I said, we're figuring this out. I'm going to just go straight to my headphones now too, that aren't playing the
But I think it's part of that same little stretch of shit.
aren't playing the stream. Or it's going to be 5, right? Yeah, Pine Mountain's visible. It's a kind of hill way deep there.
Right downwind runway 24 speed limit. Little bird off to the right, but he's way out there. Yeah, these are already quieter. I'm hoping it makes it easier to hear Megan.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not even going to listen to my headphones that are hooked to my microphone setup stuff. I'm just... Okay, let's get into it. So we're doing our first lap here in pattern. We are currently on the downwind, it looks like.
Cool. On your solo, you can also stay student pilot solo.
Okay. You hear me, Tom?
Park near me, has an observation tower. I was up there a few days ago. Can't see anything other than Pine Mountain north of that. Yeah, it's pretty visible, and it's... I don't want to say it's the Pine Mountain that we see, but it's part of the Pine Mountain chain, if you will. So that's it's almost seen down to Thomaston, really, because there's a mountain or section of the mountains that go just north of Thomaston. And I say mountains loosely because Aiden, the flight instructor, he's from Alaska, so he's from a place with real mountains. We do not have real mountains here compared to Alaska.
They're the corner, so we got time. We'll keep an eye out for him, though.
Agreed.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. We did the 2-4 loop this first time. So here on final, you should be able to see possibly a hill way out in the distance. The wind was basically dead when we started, so I just figured 2-4, you know, coming around over the road, my preferred path. But somebody started doing the loop the other way, or maybe the ATIS changed just enough to where they started preferencing 6. The Pine Mountain Range. Also, fun fact, that screeching sound is, for some reason, the clutch. Robert Harrison, what's going on? The 2 knees on the left will be getting out shortly. He wanted to make sure I was warmed up proficiently. And we're going to land, and he's about to say something along the lines of, well, hey, you can just go drop me off if you want to. So.
Cool. I think they're switching to 6 as well.
Yeah.
So.
Turn around and park the other way.
Yeah, you can go drop me off, though, if you're feeling ready.
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm feeling good. Cool.
Let's see. But yeah, and y'all just heard him say that they're switching to 6, so instead of turning around and getting out of there, we're just going to go drop him off. He's going to run inside, grab a radio. I'm going to give him an all clear, and then I will be controlling the aircraft for the first time, which they say when you're sitting in it alone with it running, you're flying the aircraft, even if you're not off the ground, because when you move the cyclic around, you can see the plane of rotation of the main rotor up and down and stuff. So even though you're not off the ground, you're controlling an aircraft and the power plant and the control surfaces and everything in a way where it could fly if you do stuff. If you're in an airplane and you wiggle the sticks and everything, nothing's going to happen. But definitely flying the helicopter as soon as you're in there alone and it's running. That's what they said. Yeah, it didn't parachute. I was kind of depressed. He did during the flight, but for some reason the video is showing me dropping him off at the helipad. So, you know, whatever.
Make sure you can hear me before you take off.
Turning up here, avoiding our dynamic rollover machines there. Plane on runway 6, speedway. Yeah, I know we took off. There's nobody flying, and now it's like 4 people in that area.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Over here just kicking the shit out of the microphone for no reason. Yeah, that H125 is clean. It's with a construction company out of Jacksonville called HC Construction.
So, things that change, right? Your CG a little bit.
Yep.
Right?
I think the tail number on it, yeah, is November 369 Whiskey Mike. It's a C and H incorporated. Letter C, the and symbol, the letter H. It's a construction company down in Jacksonville that does like big building type stuff, like office park buildings. Clean, like stitched leather seats, like diamond stitched. It was clean.
Whatever you gotta do, but nothing crazy.
I think I have a picture of it. I'll post it in the Discord. If y'all are not in the Discord, feel free to be in the Discord.
You ready to go?
Not a lot going on in there right now, but that's because you're not there.
Radio check will be. Yep.
So,
You don't have to say student pilot.
yep,
so
that's in the Discord
every
now.
time, but
Only
it'll
one
definitely
picture,
help
kind
you
of far
out.
off, but
And you are a student
better
pilot,
than
so
none.
I would say it. Roger.
Take all the sympathy points they want to give me.
Yeah, well, they usually think it's me in there, and if they're like, hey, get out of the way. I'm not in there, man.
You're like, I'm sitting on the picnic bench. What do you want me to do?
Alrighty, good luck.
Thank you.
yeah, he was there when I got there, so I have no idea what time he got there, but I mean, if he came up from Jacksonville there, I think it left. Was it still there that night? I think he was gone that evening when I showed up because I did a night flight later this night also.
Both look good. Cool. Everything's good there. Okay, he's running away. We'll wait for him to get the radio, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, the battery on that's charged. I can take it off the charger. Yeah, dude, it was spotless paint. It was like a lighter tan colored interior, diamond stitched. The 2 front seats and the 3 back seats were all that way, so it wasn't like it had prison seating in the back or whatever. I mean, it was, oh, and 5 Bose A30s just pre-planted in there, so. Okay, actually I'm going to pause this for a quick second, guys. Bear with me. Okay, sorry, had to send a message. Good homie of mine, always been a supporter. I wanted to shoot him that I was streaming my first solo. Always got to take care of the homies, you know. Let's see. Let's get back to here. Click play. Now we wait a few seconds for him to do his thing.
I think he's going to the FBO for a radio.
Is the video kind of lagging for you guys there on the thing? It's kind of jumpy, jittery, pausey every few seconds. H, what's up? I believe H is him. He jumped right in there. Oh yeah, he just messaged me and said, I'm H. Why is this being so jittery? Did my DaVinci finish? Okay, it's a few seconds from finishing rendering my other video. It looks like it's speeding up enough now. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I was going to stream this slightly earlier, but I wanted to go ahead and I did a 2-hour solo today, and I wanted to get all that footage off of the cameras and get that meshed together with the audio and get that rendering into a a solid full video, and that's like at 97% or something right now. Yeah, it's got a minute left.
3-4 Lima has you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Speedway traffic, Scott 7330, 75 miles to the field. We'll be overflying 1 mile south of the field at 4,500, heading up to the area to the west, 7330. Speedway traffic, Colleen, 518 Charlie Romeo, taking it active, runway 6.
Okay, let's see. I'm back. Had to answer a headphone question.
Speedway traffic, helicopter 3-4 Lima.
And we
picking up
are
at the helipad taxi to Alpha 3 via Alpha Speedway.
basically into it.
Everybody behind me, left to right, good. Got a little bit more forward than I'm expecting. Yep, definitely feels different.
Now, here we go. Off the ground.
Gauges are in the green, lights are out, tags are matched. I am
Yeah, it's like a
flying
chop per minute. Not exactly a chopper, one word. Yeah, like Tom can tell you because he flies. If Chuck's still in here, I know he flies. But the center of gravity was significantly different. Picking up way more than I expected.
We're like 20 inch
Um,
manifold. Not sure if
Yeah,
this
way
guy's
different, a lot
full
more
stop or
forward.
not.
And even during flight, which I think I even say during the first lap, which kind of reminds me the first time flying, just doing my whatever lesson. Okay, I'm back, guys. Anyways, yeah. So first
Yeah, a lot
flight,
more forward than I'm expecting.
with people, it was a lot more forward push than I expected. Where my arm was like mildly sore. You know, like when you would, like you get a job and you doing it with like a repetitive motion over and over and over again, and something wears out quicker than you expect. For first time flying, and first solo was the same thing, but just because I was having to push way more far forward than I was expecting. Also, there was, when we did our first lap with the instructor still in, there was nobody in pattern, and then one person going to pattern or taxiing. By the time we landed, dropped him off, and got back to doing shit, 4 people hopped in pattern. A big difference from flying solo, especially climb performance, and the controls are quicker. Yeah. Which you see me say that a lot. I'm like, dude, it's like fucking flying a Ferrari over here. Just obviously not, but I mean, it's just 160 pounds makes a lot of difference in a 1,370 gross weight vehicle. Oh yeah, dude, that's why you have me as a homie, because I can like help with repetitive motions. Heli jobs. Heli But, yeah, so anyways, there was one dude out here, which I'm going to even rewind this a little bit because I want this to be seen. He called base there, but you see how I kind of shot out of there really, really quick, and then took off. I had sat there and waited for a while. You saw that, and I waited for nobody else. I haven't heard anybody call base. Nobody had done any sort of final calls, whatever. I looked to the left. I said, I'm going to go do my thing. I go to get out of there. As soon as I crossed the threshold, I looked to the left, and there is a plane doing like a base to final turn. You'll hear him say his base, but he's basically on final. But yeah, it threw me off, and I was like, shit, I'm going to get out of here because I can do that without having to line up and add power. I was able to fuck off really quick. And after I landed at the end of this, my instructor was like, oh, that call when you went out. I was like, dude, I was sitting around. He was not there. He's like, oh, I heard it. I was like, I was listening. I didn't hear it, but I'm recording. so we can go back and we can figure it out. But yeah, he made his base call as he was turning fucking final, and he was not there because he was doing like a super short final also. Watching replay on Flight Radar 24. You can find solo. Was Kilo Fox flying during my solo? No. I think it broke right before my solo. I think the auxiliary fuel pump stopped working because it's a fuel injected ship. So they weren't able to do their flight, or they were doing the flight and the light came on and they came back and landed. No, my instructor's like, oh yeah, it's cool, it happens. First solo, you got out of there, even though I don't want to say incursion or whatever, but I clipped the video down to that bit or whatever and showed it to him when I came back later that night. He goes, oh shit, yeah, he really didn't call base or final, did he? I said, no, he didn't.
Gauges are green, tacks are matched, your car peak going up.
He was on downwind when I looked to the left, and then as soon as I started moving out, he was hard U-turn into a final while he was saying base. Today was great though. There was like 3 people in pattern with me. We were all being super respectful. I used the grass a whole bunch here, but we were using the grass a whole bunch today. And I was giving way to people, and they were thank you. We were doing the little clicking the microphones back and forth. Today was a good one. There was a steerman in traffic too. He did a couple of laps in pattern.
That extra forward is more demanding on the arm than with the 2 people in here.
The Fortunate Sun switch. This is a Robinson, so it's, even though it's an American-made helicopter like a Huey, this one's kind of small and twinky, so it actually has a K-pop switch, and I refuse to press it. Oh yeah, it saw me in the grass. Yeah, because there's kind of the unspoken rule, but it's just understood that helicopters it is spoken, it is written down that there is right-of-way for different vehicles, whether it be emergencies, bigger planes, helicopters, airships, whatever. There's actually written down procedures for who has the right-of-way in the airspace or on the ground or whatever. But it's kind of the rule during this. It's that we're in a helicopter, we're extremely maneuverable as compared to an airplane where they're very, very set with what they're doing. Where I can land on a dime, they need the runway, and if we need to give way, then we'll either circle and give them space to get in, or we can extend and come back. Because basically when they pass us on their final or their base, we can turn at the same time they do, and they can land and be off the runway by the time we get there. But me, I'm trying to maximize as many landings and approaches and takeoffs as I can get, because that's where the practice needs to come in, so you can get your approaches all set up and done the right way. So I'm doing all my, not all of them, most of my approaches very short. Usually once I hit this power line thing that's kind of over there on the left of the screen now. Not this power line, but the previous cutout. But I've been doing short approaches so I can get in and out really, really quick. Well, you are an A&P. We could install the red cover. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, I want to get one. Preferably a 44, just that way it has the weight capacity to bring more than me and like 3 bags of chips with me. But I'd like to have you on the business as the A&P doing stuff, and then when we work on it, I can work under you and slowly get A&P through experience under my own company. I don't want to say cheat the system because I want to do it the right way, but also instead of having to intern all the way through stuff, kind of do it part-time for even 4, 5, 6 years or whatever until the appropriate hours are built up.
Yep, it does want to float, so it takes more.
Where in the world am I? The United States of fucking America. Sanjay. Anyways, welcome to the stream, dude. Thanks. But yeah, I think I mentioned it a couple of times on this approach here, but the helicopter wants to float. That 170 pounds worth of instructor weight isn't much, but it's a huge fucking difference. Yeah, I'm in Nigeria.
It's all the way on the ground there. Want to get back up? The collective wants to come up. That's nice.
But yeah, the fucking helicopter floats. I mean, which that's one thing I noticed flying with the instructor, everything too. You really have to put down collective to get the thing to land. Of course, they will fall out of the sky effectively, just like anything without power. But, like, I really have to commit to the approach. Another thing I didn't expect to be as drastic as it was flying alone. And I think Chuck mentioned a little bit further up, talking about how it's much more reactive and stuff as you're flying alone through transverse flow and into ETL on my takeoffs. Usually with the instructor, it stays relatively stable, getting moving and getting through all the aerodynamic weirdness of getting into an efficient speed. But that was way more pronounced single pilot. So, no, we're in Georgia. Southeast in the mainland. It's nice and green here though, so I'm not going to complain. Hawaii, there would be way more mountains, and you could see the ocean from everywhere. My instructor, though, he did train in Hawaii at Mauna Loa helicopters. He said his solo that they have to do is across the fucking gap between islands. And there's at one point when you're between islands where you can't see land behind you and you can't see land in front of you. And you're in a Robinson R-22. Hell no.
Speedway traffic only number 34 left and downwind for runway 6 Speedway.
Yes, Sanjay, we're watching this on my... Okay, this black screen right here, explanation is the Insta360 that I'm using records for 30 seconds. And then it makes a new clip, so there's usually like a 2 to 7 second gap between it stopping recording one clip and starting into the next one. And I just have to go back through and retime stuff. Really annoying, but that's that. Yeah, this is a solo I did Monday, my first solo, obviously. 13 people in here. What's up, everybody? Obviously, that's why I put the asterisk next to the live in the title, because we're watching it live here with me, but I'm obviously just flying the screen. Yeah, I want to say this first day was more just getting used to being alone. I made sure that I think every time that I did a loop and pattern, I sat down and picked up again, sat down and picked up again. Just that way I could get used to that different feeling of the center balance and amount of power needed to be used to get off the ground. And just get used to that, because it is significantly different, even though you wouldn't think it. Today I was being much more particular on being super strict with the spots that I was putting down, and I was doing steeper approaches or like pinnacle type approaches where this is the only spot you can land and this is where you're going to end up at. If not, you're going around. Sean, good night. You and Blinn, thank you for being here. Something I'm going to be more strict on my next solo will be altitude maintenance, or maintaining my altitude. Pattern altitude here is 500 feet above field. Field's at 900, just below 900. So we do pattern at 1400. But I usually go to 1500 because my eye sees the vertical line on the bottom of the altimeter. So my brain kind of defaults to there. I'd like to undefault myself to doing that and be more strict with myself on hitting altitude. Plus, it's so fucking light, it just wants to fly. I noticed that a few times here where I was pushing up to like 1700 just because I'm so used to adding a shit ton of collective since we're taking off with max gross weight with me and the instructor. So, the grass is technically not a runway with the FAA, but the school does a lot of operations in and out of this runway for practice approaches and steep ends, and we do obstacle clearance over the trees there to the left. And it's kind of our, I don't want to say fuck around field, but for lack of better terms, it's our fuck around field. And with helicopters, like, we can land, and I mean, there's fucking bush planes I've seen come in that have landed in the grass. So it's an airport where they're not here to be picky, you know. They're here to enforce rules and have fun.
It's auto-adjusting itself.
A lot of them time for solo. Some of the schools around here used a 20-liter drum filled with water as counterweight to make it easier for the students. That's funny. I mean, but yeah, it's a noticeable difference. But also, like, I appreciate getting the differences. Today during my solo, we had the wind in the video we're watching now. The wind was effectively dead. There was almost no air movement. But today we had like a 4 to 8 knot continuous wind gusting, maybe 12 every once in a while, coming from like a 080 to 011 direction, or 110 direction. So there were times where I'd be sitting like we are in the video right now, because I'll do that to watch planes come in so I can really see the finals, the base and final. But I was doing that some on purpose today and waiting even longer for other people to come through pattern, because I was pretty much allowed to burn a full tank of fuel today. But I wanted that left direct crosswind coming in, which if you're not a helicopter pilot, I always land a bush plane from the grass at KVBT, easier on the tundra tires. Yeah, that too. No reason to put any sort of stress in them. Is the stream freezing up for you guys? I'm watching it on my phone, and it's kind of nope, never mind. I'm caught up now. It was being weird. Something, but yeah, I would hover with the left crosswind because I want that. I want to have to dance the pedals and be not get complacent with being very lucky so far to have pretty calm days for most of my flying. There's a few different ways that you can get a loss of tail rotor effectiveness when you're on the ground hovering. One is a quartering front left crosswind, because it will blow the dirty air from the main rotor down into your tail rotor, dirty it up, and you can lose the amount of thrust that you need to keep yourself centered. The direct left crosswind will blow the downwash from your tail rotor back into it, disrupting your thrust. And the other one is a rear direct tailwind, which can kind of weather vane you either way. And same thing, blow everything back into it and make it not efficient. Thanks on the takeoff comment, which I want to go back and see it. I was mildly paying attention. I was more yapping of what we were doing. So I'm going to take back a few clicks so I can see what we were talking about. Yeah, so like today I was spending more time hovering like I am right here just to put myself in the more challenging hover situation where it's kind of feathering on that line of being an LTE. Roughs are like you never made a good sailor from calm seas or something like that. I don't know. There's a saying.
158 November, right base, runway 6, set to go, Speedway.
Okay, let's see what I'm doing on this takeoff here.
Speedway traffic helicopter 34 Lima taking off.
And then near the end of this, I did a couple of max performance takeoffs just because I wanted to feel that extra power. Same amount of power, that extra, the extra ability to use that power. Yeah, that was a good smooth one. And I don't want to say it sucks, but like sometimes I want to, if I'm landing way back there and doing the takeoff from the deep runway 6 side like I was there, I'll try to turn off early. We usually do our left turn off once we hit 1,200 feet, which is 300 AGL. And I want to do that left turn off before I get over these houses up here. Just to give them a little bit of a break for me being a fucking mosquito buzzing around all day.
Speedway traffic helicopter 34 Lima left crosswind runway 6 Speedway.
But usually 1,200 feet just ends up being right where they are. it almost like it doesn't matter what I do. It's like if I'm all the way back, guess what? There's going to be no headwind and it's going to be super hot because there's going to be no clouds. But as soon as I have any sort of cloud or headwind or whatever, it's going to put me right there. So sometimes I purposefully extend the down or the upwind. I did that a few times today. Also, this is only like an hour-long video, but my other one should be rendered now, so we can jump straight into my day 2 solo after this. If y'all would like that, you know. Seems to be pretty good amount of people that are watching and talking along with us, so I'm having fun. Next time I'm flying should be Sunday. We're going to go back to the Delta. The first time that we did a Delta, I could barely fucking hear the tower. I'm borrowing a friend's noise-canceling headphones right now, so everything does sound significantly better than ATC controller. Come down to the house and literally sit next to me while I was flying the simulator, and he made that much easier thought process of going through and doing all that. Yeah, so today I was being super strict with my approaches. I wanted the D better be CSG. No, we're going to do Macon. Macon's a bit closer. And once again, my dollar at this point in time is precious. Getting all the flying done. They have a DPE coming in 3 weeks. I would like to be at the point to do that. We'll see. If not, no big deal, and I'll wait another month and a half or whatever until they come back again. But there's a chance September 13th I could be taking my practicals. So that's a thing.
We're coming down. We're going to land to the left side of our aerobatic mark here.
I'm trying to think what type of stuff I messed up on this first flight. The big one that stands out to me was pulling out in front of that guy at the beginning, but he didn't call his final and he didn't call his base. He called his base when he was turning final on a short fucking final off of like a super close downwind. It was almost like he was right fucking above me over the taxiway in like a hard 180 down. I'm at 25, 26 hours now. Let me see, I'm gonna pull up the Garmin. Logbook, reports, all dates, entry fields. Yeah, I'm at 25.9 now. I'll need 40 total. PIC time, I've got 3 on the dot now. I need 7 more. I'll need 3 hours of prep pre-test, and the rest is kind of whatever. 10's the minimum solo time though. So basically I'll probably do the Delta work tomorrow. That's the plan. I think I'm just going to be at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Anybody wants to watch on Flight Radar. Flying out of KHMP, but usually once we're out of the mode C, it will go dark for anybody watching for the most part. Then we'll pop up down in Macon and then do a couple of laps in pattern and then skedaddle. But once I do that, then I'll do a couple of shorter cross countries down to like Thomaston or Griffin or over to Peachtree City, or maybe even go out to Noonan. But Noonan's kind of far. Just to have different places to do patterns at. And really, once I'm done with solo work, I think I'm just going to be in there with him where he'll just be fucking riding along with the nitpicking everything. Like, okay, cool, you weren't maintaining altitude perfectly. And that's kind of what I told him. I was like, I want you to hold me to a high standard on this stuff. I'm sure I may be flying at a level that's passable for private, but I don't want to be like, okay, cool, this works for private. You'll get better in time. I want you to tell me now what I'm doing wrong, so I can go ahead and work on that in the future and as I go. Which I was telling one of the producers that yesterday. If y'all don't know, I started back doing the film stuff again, the production that I was on last season. Started a new season, I'm back to work, and it was we had to leave at 2:30 in the morning per times. I can make it to Thomaston and Noonan depending on the day. I'll let you know. Like I said, tomorrow's a Macon, or not tomorrow, Sunday's a Macon day, if everything goes all right. After that, I'll let you know with as much ahead of time as I can if I'm planning on going down to somewhere else to do something. But I do know when I do my solo cross country, I will be going to Macon and then back up to Thomaston, getting fuel, and then coming back up. So I will be doing that. And he said usually you try to make that one 3 hours, which it's a 2.2 hour trip. So I'll probably do patterns in Thomaston as well, just to kill some time. Excuse me. What was I saying? What was I just talking about 20 seconds ago? Something patterns. I can actually go find on my phone and listen.
Freeway traffic, Charlie, 518 Charlie, Norman, we enter the downwind for runway 6, Speedway.
Oh yeah, we worked 2:30. It was an hour and 10 minute drive to work. So yeah, like our studio, we had to be out of there at this time. Doesn't matter what we filmed, what we didn't film. 2:30 was the time we had to say, cool, that's a wrap, and everybody pack up and leave. But I was standing next to one of the producers or whatever, and everybody's tired, everybody's working, everybody's doing their thing. And I forget how I said it, and I was like, it was one of those things where it's more of a, I know that long days suck, but I will 10 out of 10 times pick to work on a production where we're putting ourselves up against the finishing times every single day than a production that gets out 4 hours early, where you had like an 8-hour day because you got everything that you needed to get. Because if you're finishing a day where you're allowed to work for 12 hours and you're still scheduling stuff and whatever, but you're getting out early every day, that means there was so much more room to grow during the process of doing that. Won't be able to get to Macon on Sunday. Like I said, we'll be coming. I don't think we're going to do Thomaston. I think we're just going to do Macon and straight back up on Sunday. Yeah, I think it's just going to be Macon and straight back up Sunday. Speed down there, speed back. Yeah, I would much rather work on a production where we're pushing the time limits every day. Because you could turn on a couple of lights. You could set up like one stand. You can do okay with makeup. You can do okay. You can do absolutely marginal with everything. And you can have a short day and everybody goes home. But nobody's going to be proud of that. Like, everybody on this show, like, puts a lot into it. Like, a majority of people on the set see something, they can say, oh, wait, give us a second, we can do a little bit better than this. And we'll take the time to do that a little bit better. And that's what I like. I would much rather work somewhere where I'm spending every second that I can, or doing something for myself where I'm spending as much time as I can to get to the point to where it's something that I'm proud of. Tyler Perry, for instance, big time actor, producer, director, whatever. He owns a studio here in Atlanta. To put it in perspective, when I'm working on a show like what I'm working on now, we'll usually film like 2 to 7 pages of script per day. If it's just like a lot of dialogue stuff, maybe we can get more in, but with the standard amount of action, movement, doing stuff, whatever, it's like 2 to 7 pages a day, depending on how heavy and how intricate it is. Tyler Perry films 100+ pages a day. I've known people that have done 180 pages of script on a Tyler Perry show, where it's basically they get in, they run the scene once, maybe twice, then they move on to the next scene. And they have just kind of like generally whatever set up lighting, and sure, there's people that watch it, but it's usually just turned on as background noise and in somebody's house, whatever. Relatively low threshold of production value if you look at it. Not taking away from he has a niche, you know, there's a niche that consumes that sort of content and that level of production value, whatever. I've never worked on one of his shows. I've been offered, but I don't want to put my name onto something that puts off that quality of something. So I'd much rather work on something where I'm putting that time and effort. Okay, anyways, am I speed restricted while solo? Currently we say 75. And also we have like wind restrictions and stuff on a solo, but the more I solo, the more he will clear me up to a higher speed. But right now, 75 is my limited speed, which I got right up there on one of the passes, but I don't think I did yesterday. I think today I got like 75 once or twice. Because I want, like I said, I want to do as many patterns as I can, because straight and level's not hard. Being strict with my altitude, I don't want to say it's hard, I just need to be more consistent scanning my gauges. But today my focus, like I said, day one my focus was more of just like, cool, get to enjoy it. Like I'm flying a helicopter alone. That's what the one we're watching now is. That's what that was to me. Today my focus was be really, really stringent and picky in particular with my approaches. I wanted those to be spot on. I wanted them to hit exactly where I wanted them to hit every single time. Or if they didn't, I wanted to be able to very precisely know why I wasn't hitting where I wanted to be hitting. Whether it was too much speed carried in, not slowing down enough, at the end, or not enough down collective, whatever. I wanted to be very, very sure. Why are you using haze from the amounts of moisture? But yeah, in 80 degree weather. So we're up a little bit in elevation or altitude or whatever, and it can be in that 80 degree range. But from what my instructor, the way he said it was, this is a relatively fuel efficient thing anyways. burning that slight bit of extra fuel or having that slight little bit of loss of power, we're not using all of our power anyways for straight and level flight. He's like, once the manifold pressure gets down below whatever, like 17, 18 inches of manifold pressure, it's a lot more likely to form past the throttle blades. And then you could start losing the power because the governor will compensate for it, blah, 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 whatever. He's like, it would be a really dumb thing to die from carburetor icing on a nice warm day. He's like, it can happen, but it would be a really fucking, like, if you survived and crashed a helicopter because of carburetor icing on a warm day, you, manifold pressure, so we still have the same performance. We just have to pull more. Because it's derated by the pilot, not derated by the engine itself. Yeah, just pull the carb heat. Save yourself that issue if it becomes a thing. Knowing my luck, I'll never turn it off when I fly. The hardest thing for me, I don't remember to, I don't forget to turn it on, because we do the downwind checks, like right here, we're checking that the gauges are green, you don't have any of your warning lights there, taxer match, all the gauges are functioning, you know, circuit breakers in, whatever, and pull the carb heat up, and that's just kind of the order of operations. But forgetting to put it down sometimes, that's my thing. That was another thing I was more strict with myself today. Going in, because that 2 seconds of time where the collective will float itself up or down a little bit if your friction's not set perfectly with it. But that can throw off your approach if you take your carb heat off too late. But yeah, the way, like I said, it was the thing with him where it was, we're in a humid place, especially once we start flying more in the fall time, the spring, the winter, 3 of the seasons here. It's usually cold enough to where it's more, or it could be more of a problem. So turn it on. You're slightly less fuel efficient, but so what? You're in a Robinson R22. You're not fucking hypermiling, hoping to do like a 700-mile journey somewhere or something. To encourage icing. Is that what the CO2 button's for? Liquid nitrogen. See, sometimes I don't use the carb heat. We actually have a catheter set up, and I'll just piss back on the carburetor. Yeah, that's weird. My screen's freezing up on my phone some, but whatever. Yeah, it's fun. I'll be taking Mr. H up soon enough. I said hopefully within 3 weeks I'll be certified as a private if we can get my hours done before, but maintenance and weather's always fishy-ishy. Whatever. That's part of aviation. He works on corporate jets and they have fucking breakdowns, so it's not like it's anything new. Liquid heated carburetors, genius. Yeah, I wish more people knew about it. It's something, you know. Oh, also, y'all can see I'm wearing the kneeboard down there. That's one I 3D printed and designed up or whatever. Sean, that was in chat earlier, made the straps for it. It has like the cool leg straps that are kind of stretchy with the rubber on the inside so it doesn't slide down. The fid lock or fide lock, whatever it's called, like magnetic snap-on, things that snap on and off real quick. It's got a quad lock so your phone clicks onto it and locks in. I'm going to refine the design a little bit to get it a bit more perfect, but it is something I do want to start producing. I want to finish up the hinge design, the strap-on. See, that's where your Australian lingo is slightly different. I don't know if you're fucking with me when you don't say you know what a strap-on is, but that's not a thing to call it here. Also, this right here will be the second time I've air taxied. The first time I did was with the guy who did my pre-solo stage check. He was like, just go on air taxi back up to the helipad real quick, because you want to do your hover taxiing less than 10 knots, because if you have to do a hover auto any faster than that, it's a bit of a pain. But here is like, okay, here around Alpha 3, which is the taxiway that's on the left, right. Out the front window to the left, right here. Yeah, right here. I kind of taxied across the road because I was operating in the grass to the north. And I did like a nice slow hover taxi because one of the big wigs adults at the school, he was there and they were outside, so I was like, cool, I want to be on the best behavior. So he's like, oh shit, look at that dude, he's doing the good hovering and stuff. What I'll do, I'll probably include generally everything, but for your phone it has to be a phone case. They may have a universal grabby thing or whatever. I don't know. I didn't look. Mine's a dedicated phone case. So what I'll do, I'll probably say, cool, this is set up and it's made to work with these quad lock components. I'll give you a list of these quad lock components to order, and that will make it work for your phone. And then I fixed a POS G150 on that ramp. Sometimes they bring pretty cool stuff over to the around. There was a Hawker that took off today. There is a, I want to say a Legacy came in. There was that one I sent you the picture. We had the big blue one here, which is owned by somebody who operates out of a hangar here at the field. Then they were test driving that demo Bombardier Global 6500 or something. Let's see. Oop, I get a preliminary call sheet for work on Monday. Let's see what time it says. 7 o'clock a.m. Where am I working?
It's almost like a Ferrari without that extra 165
Yeah,
pounds.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yep. Buff it up.
You what now?
You buff it up.
I'm good, we're good to
We
go.
will be
Go
at
to the fuel farm.
Fuel farm.
Conyers, hell yeah, short commute. Short-ish, it'll still be
How
fucking
busy are
an
you?
hour.
Oh yeah.
But back roads, so it seems different to me.
I hit the runway. As soon as I'm pulling out the runway, I look left and there's somebody that isn't on.
But yeah, so he's back in the cockpit now, and we're just going to move over to the fuel station because they're using the helicopter after me.
I heard him. I saw you freaking
And it just makes more sense to be over there, and he didn't want to have to walk all the way up there because it was like 95 degrees outside.
I did not hear their final call.
A Hamwer?
Oh, that's right, you're in here now.
Yep. Call me
A Hawker?
No, you're gonna save my right arm. I realize
What are you
that
typing that's Hamwer
Yeah.
enough to where it defaults off of saying Hawker? The big blue one's a Challenger 850. Okay, yeah, so the Challenger 850 people, they were doing the demo flight of the 6500.
I did not hear their final call.
So over here we're just taxiing up to the fuel farm. The fuel truck's over there, and he takes the controls for a second just because the truck started moving, but he couldn't tell what they were doing. So he was just doing the good instructor thing of looking out, which I'm not gonna hate or whatever, you know. I was watching, but either way,
But he doesn't want you
worked on
wearing
that guy
one
601 also.
We land on the wing on those things, right? They have plenty of weight.
Yeah.
Like I jokingly say like the ooh, it must be nice thing now, but it's like I don't think that. Like yeah, hard work and building a business that gets to that point or whatever, like That's the nice part. There's no, ooh, must be nice. Yeah, it's called work. But yeah, the dude that was driving the truck, he's one of the cool guys that works there at the ramp. Because there's only like 3 people that actually work at this airport. But he came over later and he was talking to my instructor, and he's like, I saw you moving over. He's like, yeah, I saw you just about do a backflip in that little fucking Mosquito. So they were all cool with each other about it. And we come up here, land, and it's basically done. So what do you think? Are we going to watch my solo from today also? Are we going to call this a good short stream when we watch the solo from today on another day?
75%.
Cyclic friction is coming on.
Collective friction's on. We can turn them down a wee bit. Man, Skyline, he
Let's
loves
see.
talking. I like him.
Because I also have basically solo today. There's only like 2 or 3 flights that I don't have recorded. I don't have my first flight recorded. I don't have one of my cross countries because the mic wasn't plugged in. Or no, I double clicked the record button, so I didn't get anything. So whatever, wash.
Oh my god, it goes straight up. Holy shit.
Yeah, let's see. Let's pause this one. I'm going to close the window real quick so y'all will lose screen. See if I can find this next one here. Where did I save it to? It's probably over here. Yeah. Let's see if this came up. OBS. Okay, cool. So that's working. And getting into today's solo. So this was from 3 o'clock today. I think ceiling's like 14,000 feet. Or it can go fucking up there, but I've got no plans on taking this thing up there. You have to chauffeur tomorrow or else you'll be down. But yeah, I don't want to say you can watch these anytime because these files are fucking huge. This is like this is a 2-hour video from today. 2-hour, 1-minute video from today. But it's like you're going to be riding with me probably more than any of my other friends. So, like, you can watch the videos here, but you're going to have the real thing here in just a couple of weeks anyways. So,
At 4, visibility 103,700 scattered, 4,800 scattered, 5,000 scattered. Temperature 28 Celsius, dew point 22, altimeter 3.
yeah, good luck getting up there. Have to find a fucking stout headwind. It will not like getting up there at all.
Okay, landing in the area-ish. That's good on that.
And then, of course, that's not your hover ceiling and stuff as well, because you won't have the power to hover up that high. That's you have a shit ton of forward airspeed, and somehow you're able to maintain like a 60, 70 knot cruise because you have a good tailwind pushing your ass all the way up there, then a good headwind, and then a good tailwind, and basically just fly the fucking thing 1,000 feet above the ground and be happy.
Our circuit breakers are good.
Scat turd. Yeah, they like to pronounce the turd better. Also, Mr. H there shared my stream to his Instagram story. What did you guys do?
Clutch like that. Love it. Carburetor. Yep, it's going up. All that's good.
I mean, people base jump from stuff that's like 800 feet, so split the difference.
What was your
Bring her on up.
Yeah, I don't think my instructor's ever had anybody jump out of a helicopter. He said there's nothing, like, if you're doing it as a business thing, obviously you need the commercial license and stuff like that. But if you have a friend that's a skydiver that wants to jump out, you just fucking take them up and do it. And then the liability's kind of on them at that point.
Leveled off. Gauges are still green. Lights are off. Everything's matched.
Just everybody's just a lowly meme lord. No, you're a freaking, I don't want to be like a meme lord on a different level or whatever, but like you've lost like 4 different profiles just from Instagram zucking everything that you've had. Technically, you're not allowed to fly to 14,000 unless it's negative 20 Celsius. Unless it's below negative, then you're limited to 60 knots VNE. That's true. Could jump from any height to free fall. Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to say for a more advanced skydiver, because I think you've only jumped a couple of times, and that was just on one day, right? Or have you gone back for another day's worth of jumping and stuff? Either way, for somebody who's got hundreds and whatever jumps, I feel like depending on what their goals or what they're trying to figure out, lower jumps may be funner. But I also feel like you said the free fall is probably a pretty cool fucking thing. I like those song lyrics. Fun. Feel like you said, true catch me too. I'm too chunky to get up there, but that's about where I need to be for this guy. It's like I was telling you, like there are some schools I looked at where they were like very strict about saying, cool, you need to be 185 or less to be in the R22. And if you're over that, then you might still be able to do it, but you may have to jump up to a 44 for certain things just to have the fuel capacity to go certain distances or whatever. Like over the summer, I was pretty specifically shooting down to 185 to stick there at 185 to fly this. Yep, 47 was over there. Somebody was coming in and landing it as I was getting to the airport today, which they even still have the old Franklin engine in there, which was just a fucking boat anchor. Works, reliable, whatever, bulletproof thing, but it's a fucking boat anchor and slow. My instructor, Aiden, was saying, when you, like hovering off of our helipads and going down that little hill, and the Robinson, you know, you just add just a wee little bit of collective just to compensate for getting a little bit less in the lower ground effect areas. He's like, in the 47, you don't. It goes down with it, so you better make sure that you're on your tail to move it to the sideways if you need to. He said during straight and level flight, pulling full power, if you turn the carpet on, you'll lose altitude because it does not have the power. It just doesn't. Yeah, 44 is going to be a thing for me and you. I think me and you can do the 22. I forget what our fuel limits are, though. I looked it up the other day. I did the weight and balance stuff to figure out. I think I can get you up in a 22. I'll have to double check, though. And it's not so much that the helicopter can't handle the overages of max gross weight or whatever, even though you shouldn't. The big thing is, like, if you have too much, let's just say, backwards on the weight and balance, and you pick up and you're in a hover and you have to push forward on the cyclic to compensate for it, if there's too much weight too far back and you're all the way pushed forward, you're just going to fucking hover backwards and run into something because you can't get forward speed with it. Or versus the other way, left, right, or maybe you're in an emergency scenario and you need to pull all the way back or all the way forward, left, right, whatever, doing some maneuver to get on the ground safely. You might not be able to because of weight and balance. So I'm 185. 185 and 218. I think he puts it just slightly out of the chart, which no big deal. 44 has air conditioning. You know, it's, you lose the cheapness, whatever, the 22, but you get a lot more fucking power. So then we can put the honeys in the back, you know, or the boys. Your choice. I don't have a honey, but we could put your honey in some other woman that she could talk to. Do women talk? I don't know. Or we could put the boys back there in the 44. Yeah, we'd be fine in the 22. It's just we wouldn't be able to do a shit ton of fuel. Like me and my instructor, he's 165. We're limited to about 3/4 of a tank of fuel before we get over max gross weight. I mean, really, I mean, it's very low amount of fuel that we'd have to take. Well, let's just say my instructor's 170. We'll round up so it's an easy number, and we'll just say H is... Oh, hell yeah. Better be a single lady friend. That's unvaccinated and fertile. That was funny. I went to Sean's work the other day, the Belt place out where you live. I'm not going to say it out loud to dox him. But we were eating lunch in the break room because he sits at the table with like a whole bunch of the ladies there who do all the sewing and stuff. And he said like the next day they were asking him like, is he single or whatever? Because they have daughters and stuff. Like, what sort of like dating age range is he looking for? And he messaged me. He's like, hey, the ladies at work have daughters. They want to know like what your dating range is. I was like, I'm looking for somebody fertile and unvaccinated who has enough time left on her biological clock to give me like 4 to 7 children. That's the age range that I'm looking for. Yeah, so let's say 7,200, that's 40 pounds. Or let's say 42 pounds, because that's a divisible number. 42, that's 7 gallons of fuel. So we'll have to take 7 gallons of fuel, which we're already at 19 gallons that me and him can take. We take that 7 gallons of fuel out. That puts us at 12 gallons. We take off another 2 gallons or so for that little bit of a weight difference. Dude, you're going to need a Chinook. Yeah, 4 to 7.
How you feel? Yeah, pretty good. Cool.
There are a lot of people who are on welfare, and a lot of people who are just not quality people, who pop out a lot of children, and I have to outnumber them. I have to put good genes like Sydney Sweeney into the world.
It shouldn't get too bumpy, but if I see it getting worse, I'll just...
I have good genes. I need somebody else with good genes. Doesn't have to be her. She has bug eyes. I don't care. Fight me. CH47 children 4 to 7. That's funny. It is a competition.
Just so much visible moisture, you know.
I mean, it's pretty low. It's humid out, man. It's like 84%.
Yeah, I told him that's what I'm looking for, you know. Yeah, so yeah, we're looking at 7 to 9 to 10 gallons less fuel, so we'd be 10 gallons or under. Let's just say 10 gallons of fuel in the 22. The big thing would just be where we are on the balance. I think weight would be fine. I think the balance is where it gets maybe. because we'll be having to do it on the max gross weight table, because we could sure take off with 5 gallons of gas, but then we have a 25-minute flight, 30-minute flight, not that much. It's 10 minutes or 6 minutes per gallon.
See another Skyhawk taxiing over.
Everything's a competition, duh. So yeah, it's either we be under max gross weight and we only have like a 25-30-minute flight, or we are at max gross weight, but I'm not sure where that lands in the balance chart. The balance chart, if anybody's curious, kind of looks like a pentagon shape-ish, but not really. Or max gross weight, you know, your center, or your datum point, not datum point, your arm length and whatever, it is in a slightly different place than if you're, let's say, 100 pounds under max gross weight. I'm overbearing and aggressively competitive. It'd be like that. Yeah, that's why I always come first when I have sex. It's a race. If you ain't first, you're last.
I didn't want to cut him off if he was going to 6 down there.
So can y'all even hear any of the talking? Like, I'm listening on my headphones, but I've got it super, super quiet. Can y'all even hear any of the talking of me and the instructor, or me yapping in there? Or is it kind of just listen to Matt talk and have helicopter flying in the background? Is that what this kind of is? Fuck it, we ball R44. Yeah, which I'm going to do some R44 time as soon as I get my private. I'm going to do a handful of days in a 44 because I want to work towards my instrument license as well, which the 22s we have set up where they can be instrument trainers. We have all the correct equipment to do instrument training in them, but it's much easier in the 44. And talking is quiet, like my talking right now is quiet, or the talking of the on-screen Matt is quiet? And I went quiet there because I was listening on my headphones to see what it sounded like. Anyways. Oh, the second Matt. Yeah, that's past Matt. He's technically not a real human anymore. That Matt is dead. Yeah, Tom was complaining about it, but I'm more or less talking the whole time I'm flying because I'm talking through everything I'm doing, and then like right now with the instructor, me and him are quipping back and forth. So I was like, I could turn it up, but then it's just two of me talking at the same time and kind of overbearing. If there's something that y'all see that you want to go back and rewatch and listen to the live take of whatever it was, then say something and go back, whatever. But and it's kind of like the Around the World series. We fly in the fucking simulator. It's literally just Matt's independent podcast, and instead of just listening to it in the car, you're watching it at night with the background video of me flying a helicopter simulator.
So mostly on fuel, right? Yep. But we know we filled up 3/4 tanks. We know you've got about an hour and a half very safe, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm going to do some days in the 44 regardless once I get my license.
Feel good.
Just because I want to be current and recent in it, and allowed to fly it through the school where I'm recent enough per their rules to where they'll let me rent it out and take it out. Because if my a group of friends or whatever, if I want to take 2 people up at a time, or like one of my friends and they have kids, so like they can sit in the back with the kids or whatever, like I want to be able to give them a ride, obviously.
I will see you when you get down.
Copy that. You want me to wait for you to go grab a radio, or?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just check with you. And if not, I'll text you on your phone. Just don't answer the text.
Gotcha.
That seems like a lot of fuel. I'll have to check it. Do y'all's 22s just fucking way less down there or something? What's your empty weight? Because I'm at 898.55, I believe is my empty weight here.
Thank you.
Good night, heterosexual friend. Sleep good. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way through the stream. We may cut halfway after I do a couple of laps around the pattern here.
I have my lunch.
American units, Tom. American units. Jesus fucking God. Also, Mr. H, text me real quick. Let me know what you're doing tomorrow. There's something going on that you could come out and enjoy if you're still here. If not, I'll text you in a couple minutes.
Off.
885. Do y'all use pounds? Did you use a conversion table? Yeah, how many double quarter pounder hamburgers is that? Actually, how many double quarter pounder cheeseburgers with bacon is that? That's the conversion I need.
Yep. Significantly different. Now we're hovering at 20 meters or so. Green lights are off. We are clear to the right.
Excuse me. 3,400 cheeseburger. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what that is. Well, we might be able to fit the fuel in there then. So yeah, here I am off soloing again. I had asked if he wanted me to wait for him to go get a radio. He said, nope, go ahead, I'll get the radio soon enough. He's like, I'll be listening, I'll say something if you need it, or I think he asked me if I'm up here.
Slow hover with a tailwind.
Let's see what he said.
Speed limit. Got me on the pedals. Wonder how much that changes. Big ones.
34 Lima, you up?
34 Lima's up.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Speedway traffic, Star 39 for Quebec, turning right crosswind. Speedway traffic, solo. Speedway traffic, can 155, will turning right.
Yeah, there we go. That was what I'm asking.
Speedway traffic, helicopter 34 Lima holding short of runway 6 at Alpha 3 Speedway.
Yeah, we're doing some more stunt driving stuff tomorrow. Literally right there next to the speedway. At the speedway, or next to Speedway Airport at the actual speedway. So I'm probably gonna be out there at 10 o'clock. I think my alarms are turned on. Yep. So I'll have an early-ish day tomorrow. Okay, so opinions, since you two that are my main guys here, which there's 8 people watching right now, so anybody else feel free to chime in, ask questions, talk, criticize, harass, sexually abuse, whatever, bring it on. But what do you think of this format of rewatching these videos and me being here on mic, giving play-by-play or just general commentary, podcasty style yapping? What do y'all think? because there's a lot of nights that I do want to stream, but I don't want to sit down. I don't want to put on the VR and be in the having blue light shined in my eyes when I'm literally getting ready for bed. You know, it's like the last thing I do at night. Excuse me. So it's like this is a much easier way for me not to, I don't say not have to work, but it's a way for me to not have to be, you know, so involved in doing stuff and putting a lot more effort and whatever. And I like this. It's good. It's really cool. Okay, cool. So like I said, I've got other videos and I'm flying a couple of times a week now, so we can do this a couple of times a week, depending on backlog of videos, whatever. You know, fine. We might not do it for all the flights, 'cause some of them are probably going to be kind of boring, you know. But if this is something that people like watching, which y'all do seem, Tom, sorry to cut this short, but you got to head off, dude. See ya. You have life. That happens. And you are in a place where it's not midnight. You're somewhere where it's middle of the fucking day. So go enjoy your life. Yeah, so we'll do this a bit more. It gives me that break where I still get to put something out. I still get to talk to you guys and chat and interact and do whatever. And it's nice because my 2 p.m. middle of the day for you. But like the way my area here is set up is I've got the TV up against the wall. I've got my computer under the TV. The Sims pulled up literally like right against the computer watching the TV. Then I'll put on the VR when I'm doing it. Adios, Tom. Talk to you later. Be safe. And then behind the Sim setup, further towards the middle of the room, is my couch, because this is where I usually sit and watch TV. Behind my couch, though, I have one of like the Husky wood top desk toolbox things. And I used to, when I didn't have a PC, I had a PC laptop, and that's where I have my laptop, and I have a big podcasty sort of microphone here. And it's nice to do stuff there, but I was like, damn, I'm going to get this to reach my computer and get the good audio, because I didn't want to sit in the VR headset. Whenever we're doing the VR streaming, I'm doing it through the VR, where microphones, audio, everything's coming through the VR headset. But the power cord for my VR is the USB-C, like the microphone uses. And I'm able to run that sucker all the way, since it's like a fucking 10-foot cord. I can run that all the way past the Sim down to the computer. And I've been sitting here lounging on the couch, so this is a very good, relaxing way to do this. Anyways, back to flying. Day 2, which was today, not too long ago. Excuse me. Tom said going in, or not Tom, Aiden, the instructor, said going into this, he's like, make sure you say student pilot solo. He's like, you don't have to say it every time if you don't want to, but it does help because the other people in pattern that's in traffic won't expect you to do anything crazy out of the question. Like, let's for instance say I was on final for the pavement, like I am here. If somebody had something wrong or whatever, they could be like, hey, we're on final here. Are you going to be using the pavement where you're going to be there for a second? And if it was my instructor with me, he'd probably click on it and go, oh yeah, we'll just step off to the side, and then we scoot over to the side. But they obviously don't want to put that sort of workload onto you as the pilot, as a student solo pilot. Me, I feel like I'm pretty situationally aware in this, and like I could do it, no big deal, blah, 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 whatever, but people won't ask as much of you if you're saying student solo. Just like there was another dude who was up there that was student solo, and I was giving him room, he was giving me room. It worked out good. But I didn't say student solo any during my first solo because I was just basically going to the grass every time. I didn't feel too overwhelmed. But here I was just saying it on the end because he's like, hey, make sure to say it. And okay, cool, I'll say it every once in a while. But I just ended up saying it after a majority of my calls. I'm thinking for my next one, I'm only really going to do it on my more important calls. So calling base, calling final, and calling my takeoff. Like crosswind, downwind, cool. You're basically flying away from everybody else during those. Not that big of a deal. But I think for the other ones, I'll call student solo for my more important ones. And I was thinking about that today. You know, save myself a little bit of voice. But either way, you know, whatever. If it's just me out there in the pattern, near the end, I think I stopped calling it some just because it was just me there at one point. As soon as I would hear somebody else in, start calling in, I would mention it once or twice to make sure they heard it. Maybe I wasn't super consistent with it. I know for a fact Sunday, though, if we are able to make that the day that we go to the Bravo, that I'm going to be using that a lot more. Specifically with the tower, hopefully he'll speak a little bit slower, maybe enunciate his words a bit more clearly. We'll see. I hope. Not Bravo, Delta, sorry.
The gauges are still on the green, and the tags are matched, the lights are off, full car speed up. Looks like the right that we were looking
first
at
little clip,
earlier has moved off
second
to
clip.
the west.
Kind of annoying. I wish they didn't do that, but whatever. You know, I like this camera because it has a little pill thing that I can take off and use separately. Tower is just bored because no plates. Oh yeah. If y'all are familiar with Rick and Morty, there's the scene where he is the butter robot. And the butter robots become sentient. And it's, what's my purpose? Like, you pass the butter. That's the tower in a Delta. What's my purpose? You let student pilots solo to you. Or you let student pilots get tower time. Get controlled airspace time. Which Sunday won't be solo. I don't want to say I haven't had a successful tower outing yet, but I haven't had a successful tower outing yet. The first time we went, it was kind of... it was Aiden mostly doing the calls because we were going down to Columbus. And I wasn't familiar with Columbus. I'd never really looked at CSG. I'm familiar with Macon, though, just because I'm used to go around Macon all the time. But Aiden was kind of doing the calls, and they were doing some weird stuff down there that day. And he said it was like a lot of non-typical calls because they changed runway directions in the middle of everything. Anyways, blah, 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 whatever. So it was kind of like a non-typical trip down there. And really the only reason we went down is because they needed to transfer 7192 Sierra, bring it down there, and then bring 7534 Lima back up here. So he was like, hey, you want to go to Columbus? I said, damn right I want to go to Columbus. I was any excuse to fly, you know? So we really hadn't talked about towers before then, or conversing with ATC. Then we went to Macon for the second one. And
after this we'll do a steep approach if pattern's still pretty clear.
I don't want to say I was nervous to talk to tower, but I had never really listened to a whole bunch of tower interactions, so I wasn't expecting what they would say. When you're flying, from what I see, wait a second, Macon is only an hour from me. If I can get there Sunday, I'll try. No promises. Well, we'll be taking off at 3:30, most likely here. 40 minutes down there, so it would be 4 o'clock-ish. I don't know what the best places to look there are. I could not tell you. And I don't know if we're hitting Thomaston on the way back or not. I know we can get to Macon and back on 1 tank of fuel, and that's just. You almost kind of need Thomaston on the way back. Either way, I'm also not against stopping in Macon and topping off on fuel, or heading over to Macon City Airport, which I may run that by him. Where it's like, cool, I know fuel's tight there and we're going to be doing 3 patterns. Instead of going to Thomaston, maybe we just shuffle over to Macon City Airport since it's just a couple of miles away. Something. Flying, let me rewind here so I can hear what we were talking about. Oh yeah, tower experiences. So, second time to Macon, what I was saying is, when you are familiar with what people are going to say when you're flying, there's only a limited handful of calls that can happen over the radio. The only time it really goes off script is if there's an emergency, or it's like one aircraft talking to another one specifically because they know each other, whatever. But Macon downtown's not controlled, so RIP. So yeah, like knowing the script or whatever, or knowing what people are going to say, it makes it easy, you know. Flying here at Speedway, 99% it's crosswind, downwind, base, final, on the go. Crosswind, downwind, base, final, on the go. Full stop. Power off. Whatever. You know, it's simple. There's not much to it. Also, did I ever show you guys the videos of our auto rotation day that we did? I don't know if I uploaded that or not. I think I did, but I don't know if I shared it to the Discord. Because I uploaded it to show to the instructor, but I don't know if I put it in the Discord. Let me know, GPS. Anyways. When you know what people are going to say, it's very easy to listen to it on the radio because you can predict what they're going to say. No, I did not. Cool, we'll watch autos here in a bit. I don't know if we want to do the full 2 hour of this solo, but we'll do the autos because I have it split up where it's just the autos. So here it's like if I hear somebody on the radio, I know I'm going to hear Speedway traffic, Cessna Skyhawk 3245 Golf, making a right crosswind for runway 6 Speedway. Like, I could have told you what he was going to say when he started talking because I just heard him say on the go. I knew what he was going to say, I knew what was coming. You may have made an Insta post. Yeah, I don't really post about that on Instagram, so yeah. Anyways, it's like, I know what they're going to say. Or like a couple of times, I think on the last one, my first solo, one of the dudes flying, he was like, helicopter 34 Lima, will you be using the grass or the pavement? No, I was like, helicopter 34 Lima is going to be using the grass to the north of the runway. We will remain clear and we are on base. And like, I could predict what they're going to say because there's only a super limited amount of things. I'm going to list my instructor's instructions because I don't want to give away his teaching for free. That's not my job to do. So there's a handful of videos I actually have uploaded to my channel, but I have them unlisted. I'm only giving them to friends or to him or whatever. But anyway, so like you know what people are going to say, so you can predict what they're going to say, so your brain is more ready to comprehend. If there's only 20 phrases that I hear at Speedway, and each word that they say slowly narrows it down. Speedway traffic, cool. Then I get rid of. I'm no longer listening to somebody in Perry or Peach State or whatever talking. Says no, whatever, cool. I'm looking for a high wing. Southbound, inbound for a left downwind or for a right downwind. Okay, cool. They're coming from Griffin area. They're at an altitude. They're coming in. They're going to hit a right downwind. Like, I can narrow down what's going on as the information comes in. I was not used to listening to tower. So when we did our call, excuse me, they kind of put it in my head. Like, cool, you need to give them this, and this piece of information. Talking to my ATC friend, he was like, no, not really. But I'm busy trying to think like, okay, cool, shit, okay, helicopter 34 Lima, we're 10 miles to the north, 1,500 feet, inbound, with a request, something, blah, 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 blah. Not necessary. And one thing there was like, cool, just introduce yourself. Be like, Macon Tower Helicopter, November 7534 Lima, 10 miles to the north with a request. And that's like the bare minimum of what you need to do. But then, like, I'm trying to think like, fuck, I need to give them so much information. So I'm like plotting all the information that I needed to give them. But my friend was like, you don't need to do that. They're going to ask you for exactly what you need. And if you don't hear it, go, say again for 34 Lima. And there you go. You know, it makes it easy. Like, the tower is there to help you. The tower is not there to catch you and be like, haha, gotcha. You son of a bitch. You messed up your calls. Here's a number. You ready to write it down? No, they're not going to do that. So, working with my friend who's the ATC guy, it was like, yeah, do your call, you know? Say whatever you want to say leading into it. If you think that you can give him all the information that he needs, go for it. If you just want to make that initial contact, to just make the initial contact and he'll ask for whatever, you know. But like, kind of the big thing is like, do the initial contact and stay generally where you're at so they can spot you on radar. Macon Tower Helicopter November 7534 Lima, 10 miles to the north, inbound, you know, whatever, or just 10 miles to the north. You don't have to fucking say inbound. And he'll be like, because their class delta's 4 miles from the center of the airport. It's not big. But he'd be like, Helicopter November 7534 Lima, Macon Tower, say intentions. And then I reply, Helicopter 34 Lima, we're looking to make 3 laps in the pattern and then depart to the northwest. And if he's like, cool, say altitude, cool, I'll say altitude. If he wants something else, I'll say something else. But then he'd be like, okay, cool, clear to enter the delta. He doesn't have to clear me to enter. He's already made contact, so all I need is contact from him to enter the delta. But it's nothing that has to be overthought. If he needs more, he'll ask for more. And there's no need for me to be like, Macon Tower, Helicopter November 7534 Lima, Robinson R22, 1,700 feet, 10 miles to the north, 75 knots, inbound to the field for 3 touch and goes, and departure to northwest. We have information Charlie. Like, really no reason for all that. Oh yeah, and the information bit. So yeah, the call, it just has to be Macon Tower, Helicopter November 7534 Lima, 10 miles to the northwest, inbound, information Charlie. And then he'll ask for intentions. Or whatever. And really don't have to say inbound. That's kind of a kind of implies full stop, but not really. Gray area. My friend said he really didn't mind either way because he was going to ask intentions either way, but that's up to the instructor. Or to the controller. And then Yeah, like, he'll ask what he needs, you know? If you can't hear it, say again. Say again for 7534 Lima. No big deal. Easy peasy, nothing to freak out about. He's probably some dude who's like 5'4" and can't bench his own body weight. With a neck beard. Smart guys, cool guys, nice guys, but they're just dudes. They're not like some omnipresent being that lives in a fucking tower. They are. Technically, radio signals go out and they live in a tower. Either way, it's nothing to be... excuse me, it's nothing to be scared or worried about. Yeah, it's not hard to talk to ATC, in theory, until you're flying an aircraft and going into their airspace. Because like I said, I wasn't scared going into it, or nervous, or thinking it was hard, but I wasn't used to the way that they talk, so I wasn't used to what to expect them to say. But I did 50, 60, 70 patterns with my friend, sitting next to me and doing different things. And he would change stuff here and there and kind of give me a bigger variety of things to consider going through ATC. So it really helped me comprehend anything and everything that they could say to make it more predictable, so that way it's easier for me to understand what they are saying, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Super long explanation. Yeah, basically, it's easier to understand what somebody's going to say on the radio if you know what they're going to say. Oh yeah, I was saying my instructor when I was flying at one point, and he said, 3-4 Lima, are you up? I said, yeah, I'm up. Or 3-4 Lima's up. He says, okay, come back down at 30 minutes. Or he said something about timing or something. And I wasn't used to that because I'm so used to crosswind, downwind, base, final, on the go, like the standard pattern calls. Or no, he said 45. Or was it 30? We just watched the video. I don't fucking remember. But it took me a second to process it, and I'm like, cool, what is he talking about? I was like, okay, cool. I know he wants me to come back at a certain time. I was like, is this talking about fuel? Is this talking about whatever? And I looked at my watch, and it was a time that was like 20 minutes from now. I was like, okay, cool. He must be talking about I need to be back at 12:15 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. 3-4 Lima back in the ground at 12:15. But it's just because I wasn't used to what he would be saying that it caught me off guard. It took me a second to process it. But like I said, now that I'm used to, not used to, but I'm more familiar with what ATC would say. I've used some programs and apps that train ATC chatter on radio calls. I have faith that I won't have any problems. You say that, but then they're going to give you something fucking weird. You're not going to hear it clearly. And it's not going to make sense because you heard or saw something, so you're expecting something different. Like when we were leaving CSG the one time that I went down there was some traffic coming in one way, and Aiden said that we wanted to depart to the northwest, but he meant northeast, so he kind of fucked up his call. And the controller was like, okay, cool, come this way, do a left circling, and then depart, whatever, because there was another plane coming in making pattern. And Aiden was really, really thrown off. He's like, cool, let me control, get out of here, then I'll let you have it. And he did the wrong thing, and the controller's like, 3-4 Lima, where are you heading? He goes, we're departing to the northeast. Like, okay, northeast departure. And the controller's like, okay, cool, whatever, go do it. But because of him expecting something different, it made him understand what the controller said differently, just because he was expecting the controller to say one thing. The controller said something different, but he was already so ahead of himself, assuming that's what the controller was going to say. And this is a guy who flew out of a controlled airport when he was at school, like half the time. Yeah, exactly. If you fuck up, you make corrections. If you can't hear it, you say again. You know, controllers, especially when you say like student solo, like they know that you're learning. They're not going to be like, listen here, you stupid flying piece of shit, think you're so good in your little fucking whirly-bird ceiling fan helicopter, get over here. Yeah, it's not that, you know.
Riding the shutter.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit yawny. So what I think we're going to do, I think I'm going to cut this particular flying. We'll go look at the autos real quick, and then we'll call it a day. So I'm going to pause this again. I'm going to go back to my files. Let's see, what day was it? Give me a second, I gotta figure out what day we were doing this. Do I not have it here? I know I have it on my thumb drive, but my microphone's plugged in the USB-C that my thumb drive uses. Well, let's do this then. No, actually, fuck it. We're gonna end it. It's late for me, 12:30, and I've been doing like 16-hour days the past couple of days. I'll bring back on my auto rotation day and stuff like that. I'll bring that in, and we'll watch that on the next one that we do the talk over thing, whatever. Anyways, GPS Tom, Robert, Chuck, H, all the above. Thank you guys for being here. I did not forget to film the autos, but it's not on. My autos are on this hard drive that I'm pulling off of, but the edited video where it's just the autos and not an hour and a half of pattern work, that is on a different drive. And I don't want to fast forward through shit because I also don't know what day that I did it. But actually, I'll do you want me to do it here on the stream, or do you want me to just share the link to the Discord? I'll let you decide since you're the main guy here right now, Mr. GPS. And I'm just going to have this back up on the screen for background something. You can share a Discord. Okay, so I'll share the Discord so that way you can watch it, and then we'll probably watch it in stream or whatever. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here. This is a nice change of pace, other than if I want to do something, I have to do the Around the World series or shenanigans. This is just nice for me to be able to sit down and fucking relax, you know. Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. We'll be doing this at least once a week, I think, as long as I'm flying consistently. And if not, we'll be doing Around the World, whatever. And hopefully I'll be making some videos of just making videos here soon, because I'm working and making money again, and that becomes more of a thing. Yeah, much appreciated, and we'll do this again soon. So if you're one of the people that are in here, don't forget to hit the like button or whatever. We got 10. It was good views today. We had like 13, 14 people in here at one point. I guess it's something different theme than what most people would see. But anyways, and also thanks for the teething, dealing with the teething problems with me at the beginning, figuring out volumes and everything. But we have that figured out now. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Good night. I will see all of you guys on the next one. See ya.